Okay, I'm glad I can put this together for you finally. I told you I would do it this week, and so here I am. um, I'm surprised this subject hasn't come up in a very technical way over the years that I've been with Blatchford, and I hope this brings some help to management of tasks in your office. I've been using Asana for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we have found it to be extremely useful. In the past, we have Dentrix. We've been using the day notes, and day notes, in my opinion, are the worst task management system ever. In fact, it's nothing. It is a blank piece of paper. There's no way to prioritize it. There's no way to assign it to people unless, of course, you write their name in there. And then of that list, everyone has to go and read through everything and see what might pertain to them. It's just no way to organize tasks. So I tried out a couple of different ideas and got some suggestions from people on Dental IQ, and Asana is amazing. Okay, so we're going to go through a few things, and first I wanted to start with the concept. I just hired some new people not very long ago because of COVID, and I can tell they're from an office where they do things like a dental assistant does their thing in the back. They go up front and they do the transition or tray handoff to the person that works up front. And then that person does all the tasks. In fact, if labs need to be called or patients need to be called and rescheduled, or someone's wants to do a treatment plan, let's say they're in the back, we'll keep hammering a dental assistant here. If the dental assistant is with a patient in the back and they want to schedule for a crown, but the patient says, well, I want to know what my insurance pays for, um, those tasks would go on a list up front, and the person that works up front would handle all of these business questions. That is not the way it works in my office. In my office, here's the concept. All tasks, almost all tasks, are everyone's job. Almost all tasks are everyone's job. So I have 4 full-time team members, 1 person that is primarily up front, 3 that are primarily in the back, 2 hygienists, 1 assistant. When there is a cancellation in hygiene, the hygienists do not have discretion on what to do with that hour. They don't. They don't get to just sort of go around the office and see what they want to work on. There is a task list that they have to manage, or they have to do things from. Now, they both have buffer time. So if they need to sharpen instruments or restock drawers or relabel bags or whatever, that's all done on their buffer time. So they, in general, human beings will naturally do all of the important tasks that are essential to be done and avoid or delay or procrastinate the urgent tasks. Usually the urgent tasks are more difficult. They require more brain power, a little more time, and possibly some decision making. And so people put off these tasks and they'll fill their schedule with a bunch of stuff that needs to be done but is not urgent. They do this in their personal life, and they definitely do it at work. And I've seen it over and over at my office. And so I have basically taken away um, that ability for them to fill their time with doing things that aren't as urgent. So the girl that works up front in my office, one of her primary responsibilities is to know the list. Okay, this is when we used to do day notes, and it hasn't changed. She needs to know the list. That way, as soon as she knows that a patient is canceled in the back, she will go to the hygienist or the dental assistant. Now, the dental assistant's a little different because the dental assistant actually has some stuff that she's got to do, right? She's got to package some lab cases. She has to write up lab prescriptions and organize things to be mailed. I mean, there are some things, legitimate things your dental assistant, my dental assistant, has to do when she has a cancellation or a little bit of time, maybe make a bleach tray or put together a bleach kit or something like that. But the hygienists basically have nothing to do. Well, I suppose they could do instruments, right? Instruments. That's about it. There are things that they have to do, but not on a power day. Okay. The other things that they have to do, which are important but not urgent, get done during their buffer time, which is on Thursday. So on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, when there is a cancellation, the person that works up front goes back and says, Miss Hygienist, this is what I need you to work on for this hour. And it could be calling an insurance company about benefits for someone, could be following up on a rejected insurance claim. I mean, whatever's on the list. And there's a bunch of stuff that gets put on the list. Rescheduling patients, Dr. Griffin decided he's going to do something in 3 weeks on a Thursday. We need to reschedule these hygiene patients. So the person that works up front manages the priority, making sure the most urgent things on that list are getting done urgently. That's her job. Okay. If she has time to do them, awesome. But no one, and I've had to say this over and over, no one in my office puts things on a list up front and sort of delegates them to the girl up front and abdicates that responsibility or that task. The task list is everyone's. Okay. Now, how do we manage priorities? How do we manage, every once in a while, there is what I call, like Bon Quiqui says, a complicated order. And sometimes complicated orders need to stick with the same person. And even there's a very few people, but there are some patients that call that everyone in the office knows. This patient calls, this goes to this hygienist because she's a difficult, he is a difficult case to manage. And there's no sense in 2 or 3 people trying to work out whatever difficult thing they're going through. So every once in a while, there'll be a specific task assigned to someone, but generally, all tasks are everyone's responsibility. Okay. You may have questions on that. And if you do, please, just put them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. But that's how our office is run with the tasks. So as you can see, using something incredibly, I don't know what unintelligent person came up with the day notes. The one good thing about the day notes is if you think of something that you have to do on Thursday or next Monday, you can go to that day, put them on those day notes, and you don't see that today. So you can organize them that way. But we were organizing them. I told them, A, B, and C, right? Urgent, medium, and low urgency. And then within the A's, the B's, and the C's, we would number them. And it's just a nightmare because the employees every time would have to go up there and go through the list. Let's say, okay, I could do confirmation calls. I could call this person's insurance. And then they get to arbitrarily choose which task to take on. And so they got to be prioritized. And I'm going to show you how our office does that. Okay, first, you got to download Asana. You have to join Asana. It is an app that is on the computer. It is an app that is on your phone. And every team member can get the app and we'll see updates in real time. That's what's so magical about it. They don't have to put notifications on their phone, which means on Saturdays and whatever, they don't have to see things that are changed. And then it is not a native app on Windows or on the Mac. So you have to actually open up Safari or Chrome and log into your Asana account, and you can see it. You could log into Asana on every computer in the back in Chrome and have it open all day long, and they can work off of that if they don't want to work off of their phone. Totally up to them. There is a way for those of you who want to that you can make it a native app on your computer. And like on a Mac, if you go to the App Store, you won't see Asana to download this way. But you can see here at the bottom in the dock right here, I have an Asana app, and this is it in its own little window. It's not in Safari. I'm going to put a link in below this post. I'm going to put a link in there that will show you how to do this on a Mac. It's on YouTube and it's pretty simple. And there's a way to do it for a Windows computer too, if you happen to have a Windows personal computer, but you'll have to just YouTube that. I don't know how to do it. Okay, so let's get into it. When you first open up Asana, the first thing that you need to do is you need to create some teams over here on the lower left, okay? You got to create some teams because as you create projects, it's going to say, which team members do you want in this project? And so you will have to have teams created already. So anyone that you want participating in your Asana, you need to, like I have 2 teams right now, okay? I have the Smile Squad, which is my team, and it's got my team members here. And then I have um, one that's just for me, and I'm the only member, as you can see right here. I'm the only member. And then I'm gonna create one here just so you can see how to do it. Add a team, and I'm gonna call this. My wife and I just talked about maybe sharing this for our house because it makes you so productive. So we're gonna call this home team. You can always change these things, okay? And the team members, I'm going to invite my wife, okay? So we're going to invite her, and we are going to create a team. And then in here, just kind of interesting, up here where it says home team, you can edit the team settings, and you can change things if you want to. You can change the members that are involved. And Asana, by the way, is free up to 15 members per team. You can have 5 teams of 14 people, and it's still free. All right. And then you can also you could use emojis in the title. I just wanted to show you these little things that you can do. All right, so then we have the team and we have a project. So it basically works in projects and tasks. Projects and tasks. There's probably a lot more to this than I know, but I'm not willing yet to pay for the premium upgrades. But so you'll create a project, okay? Now, there can be multiple projects that you're working on. But I have, and I'll show you that in just a minute, okay? But let's create a project. So maybe you want to do, like on my team for work, I have 2 projects. I have day notes. We labeled this because over the last 15 years, we've always said, put it on the day notes, put it on the day notes. So we just still call it the day notes. We didn't want to change the list because it's just built into our lingo. And then I have Thursday checklists, and I'll talk more about these in just a minute, but you can always change the name, but you got to think of a name. Okay. So we're going to create a project, and let's just say, sorry. They have templates for like meeting agendas and different things. I don't use the templates, but I hear that they're useful because I've watched a bazillion videos on it. So a blank project, and here project name, we'll call it house tasks. And then the team we're going to use, see now here you can choose your team. Okay, so I can include other people if I want to, but it's just going to be the home team, public to the team. So everything I write is, my wife will be able to see. You can include your kids in college, and you can start adding tasks for them, like pay your tuition or pay your rent. I mean, it's pretty cool. And then you have layouts, like what your preferred layout is. Okay, the only one of these that is not available with the free version is timeline. And I don't particularly care, but they do have boards and they have lists, and the boards basically organize them in these little areas where it looks like a storyboard. I prefer lists, so we're going to stick with lists, but you can change these things also when you're in the middle of doing it. So now we have 2 sections, okay? And like I said, right up here, see how you can click to board or timeline. Timeline you can't do, but you can also do calendar. So in the lists, you have these tasks, okay? These are, everything in this project are tasks. It's just a matter of, have you assigned them to someone? If they're unassigned, they're just general tasks and they float up here at the top, okay? So we're going to create a task, and let's just make some things for my wife to do. She is going to wash my car. Okay, and we're going to give her that task. Okay, and we're going to have her a due date right here. We're going to have her do it, by Monday. And then there are more right here. You can add a field. So I would suggest adding priority. Okay, add priority. Very important. Here you can set high, medium, or low for that particular day. The reason this is, and you don't, or you can just leave it with no priority, but you can set the priority. And let's say it's very urgent. It's very important that my car looks good by Monday. You can always arrange, once you have a bunch of tasks in here, you can say, okay, I want to arrange these based on priority so I can see what is the most important things that I need to be doing first. You can arrange them by due date. So you're like, I need to know what's due today. Okay. And then within that priority, you can see the high, medium, and lows. Okay. You can also add a section. So let's say that my wife and I want to uh, make a trip to Europe. I'm making this up as I go. Europe trip, okay? And within the Europe trip, project, we're going to add some tasks, okay? We're going to buy plane tickets. We're going to search for tourist things, and search for restaurants. Okay, and that becomes this little grouping. Okay, now remember, I haven't so then you start creating these sections, okay, for different things. Once you make a task, you can go into details, and in here you can see there's a few things that are already filled in, right? It's already got someone that it's assigned to. Right here, it's assigned to house tasks, but there's an untitled section. You can right here put this in one of these sections that you might list down here. Like maybe another one is remodel kitchen, right? And there's a bunch of tasks that are inside of that. So as you create tasks in general, you can either go in here and hit return and create them within this, or you can create tasks, and up here, this will list those sections. So I can assign this to the Europe trip if I wanted to, and you could see it drops right in there, and now you don't have any general tasks up here, okay? Or you can leave it untitled, and it goes back to this general section, okay? You can add details in here, like please use special soap. You can add subtasks, where to buy the soap, or whatever. It's kind of a weird thing. And then she can update stuff. So she can go into this and she can go, you know what, Justin, and it'll be her picture that's here because she'll be logged in, and she'll say, they are out of your soap, right? So she'll comment that, and then I will get an update saying, hey, Rhonda has made an update, and I can come in here and I can see what it is. It'll be emailed to you, or come in a notification if you want them. Okay, so that is generally how you create projects and tasks. Okay, now let's look exactly how I do it for my team. I'm going to go back here to home, and I have to. These are the ones that I have. Okay, so I have house tasks, which I just made, and I have Thursday checklists, which you can see the Smile Squad is that team. I have my own personal tasks. These are things that my wife doesn't need to be troubled with and her notifications, nor my team, right? There are certain things that I want to know that I don't want my team to have to ever see and deal with. And then I have the day notes, which is the big one, the reason that we did all of this. So let's look in day notes, and I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. Okay. All right. Here are general tasks. Remember, I told you they're not assigned to anyone. I have created these blocks down here, like I did for Europe trip, with the names of my team members and me. Okay. And these These little sections right here are for those complicated orders that only one person can do. So if let's say we're having trouble with an intraoral camera and it's complicated to fix, she may want to, Emma may have called and they said, I'm going to call you back. And they've talked about what's wrong with it and everything else. She could certainly go into the notes and write it all down, but she could just assign it to her, right, um, through these day notes. She could assign it to herself and it would drop into one of these windows down here. Are you with me? And then when anyone else is looking at the day notes, they wouldn't see um, they wouldn't see that particular note. This is what they deal with. Okay. So this is now our new day notes section. And if they have something for me to do, could be in the day notes, right? Well, now they just assign it to me and I've got stuff down here that I've got for me to do. And every once in a while too, there'll be like something specific like, oh, you know what? I need this ordered from Patterson. Well, I can go right in here to my dental assistant. I can say, hey, please order this. And if I wanted to do it that way, I don't. I would put it up here because everyone orders, whoever gets to it, right? It goes on the Thursday thing. But maybe I want something added specifically to Megan's Thursday checklist. Then I would, add it just to her, and that she would have that task just for her. So the day notes, this is how we do them. If they have a priority, we give them a priority. A due date, like sometimes things will be put on here, but we're not going back to work until Tuesday, let's just say, or Monday, or like this Team Blatchford call, which I thought was really important. It's on here and it's set for September 22nd. So if you order them by due date, these don't have a due date, so they come down here, but then you can see, okay, these are the tasks that have to be done on Monday. They have not been assigned a priority. They have not been assigned a person to do them. Could they? They could, but I'm counting on Emma knowing what those priorities are. And if she has time, she's going to deal with them. And if there's a cancellation, then she is going to tell one of the other employees, hey, I need you to help with, this person's task treatment. Okay. And so inside of here, there's no details or anything. This is something maybe she should put more details in there, but at this point we don't need it because we're on Monday. These things are going to get done. And sometimes things will build up for Thursday. Things get added to Thursday and that's okay. So we'll, on Thursday, then the list is kind of longer and we'll, and we all work on them as a team, or they get assigned to someone during their buffer time, depending on what it is. Okay, I think I've pretty much covered everything. How to list them, who's due, assignments. That's how we use it. So whenever I come in here, using it on your phone is awesome. A couple of things that I don't like about the phone app. I think it isn't intuitive for me on how to create teams on the phone. So I have to go on the computer to do that. There may be a way to do it. I just haven't figured it out. The other thing on the phones, for those of you who have the new software for, I can't see that, can you? I don't know if you guys can see on my phone here. Probably not. It's a virtual background. How about right here? See how I have the bigger icons? Anyway, with iOS 14, there is a way to reorganize your apps, but the only ones that can be bigger and have views in them are the native apps on iPhone, like iTunes and Maps and Notes and Reminders, which are all great apps. But I wish I could make Asana a little bit bigger and more obvious in there, but maybe someday they'll open that possibility up to third-party apps. Okay, that is it. That's how we use Asana. That's how you create the tasks, the teams, organize them, prioritize them, create different little subsections in there. Don't hesitate to give some questions down below. I'm going to put the link in as soon as I post this. I will put the link in for how to make it a native app so that it shows up like this on your Mac. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Good luck.